I can change the past. Don't wanna complicate things. Maybe if I asked, was any of it real? Was it real? There's only one thing left to do. My heart is breaking on you, so I'll say goodbye. Let's put the sun back in the sky. Tired of crying, don't call
What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Give me a second, man. I just uh gotta send this link out. Like, share, comment, come on. If not, I'm just going to rant. I got some stuff I want to rant about today. Good Friday noon ish down South Georgia. I'm excited because it's a little warmer. But give me a second here. Send this link out real quick. 1 second. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. You be mine. All right, man. Bam. Oh man. So let's get to it, man. Let's get to it, man. I gotta do a little bit of venting today, man. Dwyane Wade. Dwyane Wade, man. Did y'all hear about what's going on with Dwyane Wade? Daughter, I can't say daughter, man. I can't put myself to it, but his son wearing a dress, Kobe Bryant dress.
Nigga, you gay.
I'm just saying. It was disturbing, man. It was very disturbing to see that the tribute for Kobe Bryant, the late great Kobe Bryant. But I got a lot to say about that, man. But anyway, Kwame Brown. I might try to play the video. Um, but Kwame Brown. Thank God for Kwame Brown, man. He out here saying the stuff that most men is not trying to say. We all think it. I was looking at his comments below. I was looking at the comments of Kwame Brown, and everybody agrees with what Kwame Brown is saying. Not everybody, but most people. But we are in a place where you're scared to tell the truth of the matter. Now, I don't have a problem with gay people. I don't have a problem with that. LBGT, whatever you want to be called. But what I do have a problem with is you pushing this agenda, recruiting, if you will. You're recruiting because did anybody think about the fact that the picture that Dwyane Wade's son took? It looked like it was a photographer. It was like all set up. Like who's behind this, pushing this? Now, as a parent, for anybody out there who's a parent, and this is just he could do whatever he want raising his child. It's his business. But let's say his child wanted to mess with animals or be with animals. You're not going, and he's 12 years old. You're going to try to deter that. Kids want to eat candy all day long. That's all they want to do. They want to eat candy, stay up late. But as a parent, you have to tell them no. You have to tell them what to do because they don't know any better. Kids don't know any better. I know when I was 12, I didn't know. All I wanted to do when I was 12 was eat cereal, eat cereal, eat cereal, stay up, and cut up. That's what I wanted to do. I needed my father. Shout out to my father to tell me, no, you have to do some disciplines. So I'm ashamed, really, of Dwyane Wade because we need some leaders in this black community. Everybody say, "Oh no, Dwyane Wade does stuff for the community." I don't care about that. It's about imagery. That's what it's about. That's why a lot of people talk about how I talk about Michael Jordan. Now he wasn't the greatest guy off the court, but we didn't know it. You don't do stuff in front of your kids because what you do or what they see plant a seed. So you need to pray and plant the seed. Pray and plant the seed. Now, sometimes it might not germinate. Sometimes seed might land on rocky ground. It's biblical. But I'm gonna talk about Dwyane Wade because I'm a fan. I used to be a fan of him. But one thing I learned is do not meet these people. Like, do not worship these athletes. I see you, Jimmy. Give me like 2 seconds. I don't know if you got a lot of time. But I want to hear what you got to say. But okay, I think he went away. But anyway, if you want to say something about this, man, I put the link in the comments. You come on, but everybody want to hate on Kwame Brown because he's speaking out on certain things. Now, when you look at Kwame Brown, he's only really talking about people who talking about him, and we're getting all in our feelings because he's the type of dude you're in class, somebody tap you on the head, and you turn around and bop him in the head, and everybody see you bop him on the head, and they're like, "Why you hit him?" And then this guy playing the victim. Everybody that says something to Kwame, he just firing back at him, and we would do the same thing, all of us. Appreciate. Sorry, appreciate the super chat there, but I I ride with what Kwame Brown is doing. I met some celebrities. Celebrities is not they're human. I would say a lot of them arrogant, but human. You know. Now, when it comes down to this Dwyane Wade situation, Dwayne got a battery in his back, man. And let me tell you about Dwyane Wade. Let me tell you about Dwyane Wade. Now, I followed him. I remember because I'm from Pittsburgh, but I'm in South Georgia, straight up. I'm in South Georgia. Yeah, they ain't winning no chip, man. I'm gonna talk about them in a minute. Them Lakers. I'm gonna talk about them Lakers in a minute. But here's the deal. Dwyane Wade came from Chicago, and I'm gonna play this clip with his ex wife talking. I'm gonna play it. Now we can't believe everything we hear, but I do know because I remember watching Pitt play Marquette back in 2003, and they did a special about Dwyane Wade. And I remember this to this day. I was trying to find it on YouTube. I couldn't find it. But Dwyane Wade came from an abusive household. His daddy was abusive, beating the crap out of his mom. His mom was on drugs. This is not coming from me. This is coming from him. So, if we all know, if you come from a single parent household, you're more likely to now. I mean, if he didn't play basketball, you're more likely to quit school, be on suicide watch, and all these other things when you don't have your father in the house. All right. Now his father, again, was beating up his mother. He was pretty much homeless. Dwyane Wade. He was homeless,
I'm sorry.
and he was friends with his first wife. They were friends before they were married, and I'm not defending her. She probably was crazy too. Yeah, Krauser was getting destroyed by Dwyane Wade. I was so mad about that game, man. We made it to the Sweet 16 pit, and we just got he was killing. He killed what's the other point guard we had then Knight, Brevet Knight. Oh, he was killing them. That's right. Yeah. college, man, that was a bad mother. Shut your mouth, man. But appreciate the cash app. Um, but yeah, man, he was killing, man, and they had this nice little sob story. You know how like when you're dealing with a network and they want to sell the game. So when they sold the game, they had him on there, and they had his wife. She wasn't his wife then; they were fiance, and I think she had that basketball player, the guy that the son that's a basketball player now, looked like he might make it to the NBA, but she had him by then, I think, and I might be mistaken, but I know it was her and her mom on there, and they were selling Dwyane Wade like, oh man, I'm going for my dreams and stuff like that. Bad man. But when he was in high school, when Dwyane Wade was in high school, he was a homeless guy, and Dwayne's Wade's ex mother in law let him in the home, and this is when his girlfriend at the time was going to Marquette. He was a senior, she was in college, and the mom, which she had issues too. She just lost a daughter, I believe. Her daughter passed away, and she allowed Dwyane Wade to be in this house. Now, as a mother, you could tell there was no father around because the father would not let another young man move in that home and have sex with the daughter. So just imagine what's going on here. And Dwyane Wade was abused by his father and in that situation. So you typically, when that happens, they may not even beat their kids. Like, let's say you lived in an abusive household and you're getting spanked like hard. Like, I know so many people who their parents was really strict on them when they had children. They don't beat them. They don't do anything. They just let them be. They're like, hey, you be. They try to do the white approach to talk to the kids, where it's like just let them do what they want, right? Let them do what they want. So that's what I believe is going on with Dwyane Wade. Now, then Dwyane Wade ended up getting to the NBA, and him and his ex-wife was not whole at all. They were fighting. I'm gonna play the clip in a minute once it downloads. But the wife, and they said they were not on stable ground when they moved when he got signed to Miami. Fighting. You got to imagine a kid who don't have their mother. And Dwyane Wade, just like any other NBA player, everybody knows on this thing, if an NBA player, they're the most arrogant people in the world. I watch them, but everybody gives tall dudes a pass. Everybody. It's what it is. Like they're privileged because everybody's trying to get paid. They let them do whatever they want. I remember people in my school in Pittsburgh high school. We had the most NFL players in the league at one point. We had Stevie B, Gronkowski's from my school, Ryan Mundy. I mean, we had so many athletes that made it to the Jason Taylor to my school, and I just remember they let them kids do anything they want. They were always in the office. Everybody in class, they got the members only jackets, and they're always in the athletic director's office. They got anything they want. Kwame even talked about it. Kwame Brown talked about it. He says when he was playing basketball, those 12 years, he was VIP everything until somebody couldn't get nothing from him. So Dwyane Wade, he got a taste of the fame. Once he got on, and he's in Miami, out of all places. You got a billboard in Miami, and you bring your little old wife here because you living in Chicago, and you in Miami. His wife was saying, and this ain't from me. His wife said they all was cheating. They all had baby mamas and stuff like that down there, like to show the game, and she couldn't deal with it. She also said they was fist fighting in there. So imagine you got two kids now. You got the girl, boy, whatever you want to call that, and then you got the older one. They all witnessed this. And then one time, Dwyane Wade told his ex-wife, he said, "Look, you keep playing with me, I'm gonna send you home." Now, can you imagine if something? And I'm just telling the story, what the kids had to see. You kick your baby mom, your mom home. I mean, the baby mama. You kicked her away, kicked her back home with her mom, and they took care of you. Now, I'm not giving them a pass at all because that's between them. I'm just saying, Dwyane Wade got real soft and he lost me. I don't care. Like a lot of people say, well, he do stuff for the community. So do gangsters.
Nigga, you gay.
So do gangsters, man. Gangsters do stuff for the community all the time, but they popping people every day. The most important thing is imagery. Like when Michael Jordan was in the game, like I said, he was not a good person as we know now, but the way he carried himself in front of the camera. He was with his wife, even though he cheated on her. We ain't see it. He was with his wife. He's always wore a suit. Everybody wanted to be like Mike. Mike left the game better than when he came in. That's what Mike did, along with Nike. And I know this is a different time. I do. I know it's a different time. But this is the most important time that we need. We need these men. We need black men to be strong out here. We need soldiers. That's the next generation, and you sitting there putting them and supporting this stuff. Most women, especially in Atlanta, say that there's not enough men to pick from. Like we have to mold these men to take care of their house. We have to mold these women. Wow, Westbrook, yeah, it's a fact. That's another thing, man. Westbrook. So that's why I know there's a battery in these people's backs, man. This is built by the machine. Like when Obama was in office, all them gay people was quiet. They run Hollywood, Ellen and all them. They ain't say anything until they got into power, and then they gave him the bag. I always say, if you want change in the community, you got to pay them off. Gangsters pay them off. You got to pay them off. If you want something done, they ain't gonna just. You can't resell, overcome, and get something changed. You got to give them money. It pay to play, and I'm sorry to say that, but that's what the gay people did. That's what the Asians is doing. The Asians, most of them got businesses. They paying taxes. I mean, they're paying the most taxes, if you will. And then I could go on and on. Check us out on my other channel, T&J Radio. But I'll talk about the political stuff later. But that's what's going on, man. And oh man, Shaq's on the show with Dwyane Wade and Candace Parker, and I can't stand to watch it because Candace is gay now. I got a video on that. Check that out. Everybody knows she's gay and left her husband and cheated on her husband overseas with a woman. And on the show, they just demasculate 7-foot Shaq, and he just take it. It's a shame, and we need to speak out, man. Because if you look at anybody's comments who's speaking out, a lot of people agree with that. A lot of people agree with him. With like Kwame for sure. They agree with Kwame, but there's some people hating on him because he's talking about your favorite basketball player. Let me see if this video download. Give me a second here. But okay, it's about to download right now. But I'm gonna play this clip. But like, we need more soldiers, man. We need more soldiers out here. Now I'm gonna play this. I don't know if anybody heard it, but Killer Mike a while ago, what he said about the black community. Let me see if I can. Let me know. Hit a one in the comments if you can hear it. There you go, right here.
I have to say this. because I know our spirit and our emotions get stirred. I'm not against nobody on the panel. I'm with everybody on the panel. I'm not diametrically opposed to anybody on the panel. I agree with everything my brother said about revolutionaryism. So let me ask you guys a few questions. We're in the South. We're in the heart of the South right now. Who fishes? Who knows how to fish? Hands down. Who knows how to hunt? Less hands. Hands down. Who shoots on a regular basis, meaning once or twice weekly? Hands down. Now you see how many hands? Who farms or grows their own food right now? Hands down. You ain't ready to oppose nothing. You are as a part of this system as any white person gentrifying in this city. And you can't tell me I don't know what I'm talking about, because I've lived in this neighborhood long enough to know when 2 out of every 5 yards had a garden in the back. I'm old enough to know when the Muslim community was the strongest security force and their own food force in this community. Black people, I love you, and I love you.
I see you in the queue. Give me 1 second.
Ready to revolt shit. You don't feed yourself. You don't hunt your own animals and slaughter them. You don't prepare your own meat. You don't own your own land. You don't have a seed growing in your window. So when you think about revolutionaryism and you think about fighting and dying in the street, you ain't shit if you can't feed your children. You ain't nothing if you can't teach your children to hunt. I've been hearing this revolutionary talk all my life. All my life, I've been seeing leaders get before me and tell me how much of a strong warrior. And just like the United States Army, just like the military, I've seen their words, send black boys off to die in the.
We need more soldiers out here, man. That's what I'm saying. Come on, Dwyane Wade, man. And like I said, you left your wife, you cheated on your wife. Hey, that's your business. But Gabrielle Union is such a feminist. She's a feminist. She's running that household. I saw a picture with him, like crossing his legs, tight pants. He's a different dude. Well, maybe he was like this all the time. I don't know. Oh, let me get a caller in here real quick. What's going on?
Yo,
Yes, sir.
man, D-Wade should be ashamed of himself of being a father, man, for that. Like, I mean, I get all the complaints and all, but people gotta have to be honest. You know, you have to bring harsh honesty on this shit, because if you allow like, you know, a lot of backtracking when it comes to getting towards your point or getting towards like wherever point you make, they're gonna be like, okay, it's not as bad as what it thinks, and they will continue doing it.
Mm-hmm. It's a fact. It's a whole fact.
Like D-Wade has made, you know what I mean, as allowing this to go that far, and he does this thing for attention. He pretty much like knowing that he does not need to show that in reality. He doesn't even show that to his son, you know, in reality. But he did anyway, just in order to, I don't know. He's trying to get some more publicity or whatever. But it is kind of like shameful when I see someone like that to allow, you know, his son to be a part of that. That, you know what I mean? That is just kind of like, it's kind of disgusting me.
That's right. And especially on the day Kobe Bryant passed away, 2-year anniversary. You know. What do you think about that? With his son wearing a dress on that anniversary of Kobe Bryant.
Oh, that day?
Mm-hmm.
That day was horrible.
Man.
I personally went to the tribute. You know what I mean? I'm from LA, so I personally went to the tribute. You know what I mean? I was, you know what I mean, every, like, pretty much at best, like, the whole 2 weeks, I was crying about that shit. I ain't gonna front. I was crying. Like, hey, if you was over there, people was crying too. Like, shoot, maybe crying more than I am, but it was a sad day.
Man, let me tell you, I never cried for a celebrity except for that. That was the first time, man. That was a horrible
Hey,
time.
man, like even like before that, when Nipsey died, I was like sad about that. But and also next year, Kobe died. I was like, damn, bro.
Mm.
Like a lot of these people that what I mean, I usually be listening to or I be watching since I was like a child or a kid. They're just gone, and you just don't really see them anymore. I thought I was able to, meet them over there, meet them one day, but I'm never gonna see him again, which, sucks. Like just in order for a meet and greet, not like on some like, on some dick rind shit, but anyway.
Did you ever go to a Laker game?
Have I? Nah. This is them tickets too expensive, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Especially when at the time when Kobe was playing, the tickets are too expensive. Even when we're not even go to the finals, the tickets are still, expensive. But I mean, hey, shit. If I have the money, it would be 100% worth it. I wish I actually had money in order to get that.
Man, I went to a Laker game in Michigan, man, and Kobe hit the game winner. This was like at the end of his career too. He was struggling the whole game, but he pulled up and hit that winner. I was like, yeah, I got a chance to see that, man. Now, are you a Laker fan?
Absolutely. I have been a Laker fan since the I was born. Most of my family is Laker fans. So I always continue to like be a Laker fan because shit, that's the team my family's repping on. I'm from over here, so I might as well rep it on.
All right, just the person I want to talk to. So what's the energy with LeBron there and AD and Westbrook in LA?
It's a mixed bag, man. Like I'm just gonna keep it real. Majority of the fact, most people never want LeBron to be in LA. Majority, like people don't want LeBron James to be in LA. It's kind of like because he's a part of that culture that is like the antithesis of what LA is. You know what I mean? We are like a winning culture. We care about championships. We don't care about your stats. We don't care about your other. We don't care about your babying. We don't care about none of that stuff. We care about is results, championships. If you're going to go to the playoffs and go to even with the conference finals, we still see that as not enough. We are a winning culture. That's just what it is. Like if you're in Dallas, they're a winning culture. As much people shit on Dallas, the Cowboys is still a winning culture and part of that winning culture for the NFL.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Yeah. So what about Westbrook? I know he's from LA, right? What are they saying about Westbrook out there?
Oh, you talking about you talking about the cross dresser. You talking about the cross dresser. Like, I mean, like this is what my thing is. I do not hate Westbrook. I just feel like that if he actually had better guidance, he would have actually become greater than what he is. But unfortunately, he cares about too much of his stats. Just like what we talking about LeBron, he cares about his stats.
That's a fact.
Like he doesn't as long as he makes your team look good to the point of going to the playoffs, even as a first round exit, that's all that matters to him.
So why everybody giving him a pass, man? Because I go hard on him, but they be calling me haters, man.
Who? Westbrook or LeBron?
LeBron. Everybody give him a pass.
Because they too much into the freaking narrative, the bullshit. Like LeBron James had been promoted for years. Like, you know what I mean? This guy, he will never do anything wrong. You know what I mean? Like he is the second coming to this, that, and the third. He is the guy who will surpass, you know what I mean, the man that they still talk about to this day. And you know what I mean? And it's not working. It's not pulling no punches, but people, and then they still continue to promote him because it's money. So when you actually put it in that type of way, and plus the fact you hear about LeBron James' story, people will say that, man, why are you hating on someone who actually did all that?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, first off, if y'all was doing the same energy just like any other play, because majority of players are black. If y'all keep it 100 on them and say you need to stop hating on every player, then it would be different. But majority y'all don't do that. Y'all only look at only one person, one individual, and you guys were willing to do anything to your power in order to make other people to change their minds. Like for me, it doesn't, like, despite how many times I see LeBron James pulling stats out of the rear end, I still do not think he's better than Kobe. I do not.
That's what I'm talking about, man. I've been saying, I'm enjoying this conversation. I appreciate you, man, because I've been saying this for a long time. And just, man, I'm glad somebody's telling the truth out there out in LA, Wow. So
despite of you winning a championship, you still haven't won no championship outside of one season. Mm-hmm. One season. How can anybody be proud of you of saying like, hey, bro, you are part of the Laker legacy? Like, hell no, you're not part of the Laker legacy. Pretty much this team is becoming the worst Laker team of all time. It's becoming of that. Like, I never seen. I'd rather have bums in my team that's young and youthful than being around with these old ass chumps. It's just what it is. It's just like I miss when the team had Lonzo Ball or D'Angelo Russell. That's how bad the team is, bro. Wow. The team is bad. Like, no defense. How you score 30 points a game while no impact? You are an all-time great and you score 30 points a game while no impact. That is atrocious. Mm-hmm. And you want people to respect you.
Mm-hmm. Man, like I said, I think he's just trying to break that record, man.
And that's the reason why people don't like LeBron. LeBron James care about his fucking stats. He knows damn well he's not no winner like that. He's never a winner. He care about his stats. He was willing to break these records in order to prove that, yeah, bro, I'm the greatest. And then later on, they will, later on, even when he did break the stats, this just proved that the league has gone weaker. Mm-hmm. So, what the league is going to do is that when LeBron James retire, all they're going to do is to bring back all those old standards in order for LeBron James to look good. Wow. Which is fine. Which is fine, though, because, like, hey, it will show you that these players are better than LeBron James when he bring those old standards up. So, it is what it is. Man. I cannot fathom when it comes to hearing people talking about all this hoopla about him when the dude always like ducking competition. He's not a competitor. That's also another con I don't like about LeBron. He's not no competitor. The dude will duck anything as long if it's an easy way out for him to get a championship, he will do that. That's why most people don't respect him. I don't care about him scoring over about, he's the first guy to score 30-point triple-double while having a hamburger on the end. He'll still never gonna get no respect like that. I'm just sorry. Like the way that they're obsessed with stats is just crazy.
What are your last question? I want to ask you about AD. What you think about AD?
Man, AD, man, he fucked me up, man, because like in that first year, the first year when he came over here, he was doing good. Mm-hmm. After that, the Titanic sailed, man. The Titanic had to flat out sink down to the floor and never brought back until probably today. But bro, like AD has become softer than pillows, cookies, and cotton candy. Every time, bro, if you touch him in midair, you will get hurt. You know what I mean? You get hurt. Like if he jumps right in front of you and you just give him a tap, that's a bone injury, bro. That's a legit bone injury.
That's a fact, man. Well, I appreciate you giving me the rundown with LA, man, because I'm gonna talk about them in a minute. But is there anything else you want to last thing you want to say? Give the floor.
All I'm just gonna say is that people like black people in general, we gotta have to be more honest when it comes of this stuff, this fruity nonsense that they're trying to promote. Like if you're not gonna be honest with them, they will continue to go over there. They're gonna continue to put their influence in there, and until it be too late, you are never gonna do anything about it. So you better act now. Stop. It says revolt against the fruitiness and the rainbows and all that. Like stop it.
Man, that's
Like stop it. Don't try to say, "Oh, no offense to that community." What that community don't give a fuck about you? You know what I mean? Like it doesn't matter. Like if you're unoffended. Well, shit. Even if I was offended, they still not gonna now they'll give you a seat. They're not gonna give you no respect. All they're gonna do is say thank you for dick riding right now. Stop doing that. Say your piece and to get with that. And because majority of people agrees with these points, but they're too scared because they're gonna lose their jobs. They feel scared that they're gonna be into the public eye in a negative way. You're gonna have to realize that you're going to have to say these things and get with it, because if you're not, you're gonna allow anybody to be putting you down, and they're gonna put you in their own rules, and it's gonna be nothing more but a circus. So it's better for you to be honest.
Man,
that's all I got to say. But thank you, man.
Oh, no problem, man. I appreciate your insight, man.
All right, peace.
All right. Man, is on fire. Woo, wait, that's the whole fact. Man, he said everything that I wanted to say, and I'm going to continue to say. LeBron is stat padding. I don't care what you're saying. He is stat padding. He's just trying to break this record. That's why he don't even care about them winning. I mean, he's frustrated. Don't get me wrong, but you picked the team. Rich Paul. LeBron, don't be mistaken. I see you in the queue. 1 second. Don't be mistaken about LeBron James. He's in control of Clutch Sports. He started the super teams. He got he got his own agent, which has most of the league pretty much. Rich Paul. He his client is Lonzo Ball, and one of his clients is AB, and he got AB there. And think about this. Remember when Anthony Davis wanted to leave New Orleans, and all of a sudden he stopped playing. Right? He just like, I'm not playing anymore until you get me out of here. The same thing is going on with the guy from Philly. Forgot his name. Put his name in the comments. But the guy who's not playing in Philly, his agent is Rich Paul. So Rich Paul is telling him to do this. Like, stay out. Stay out the game. Don't play. So maybe he can make that trade. Now, I would think that guy. What is his name? The guy that ain't play all year. Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is doing the same thing that Anthony Davis did when Anthony Davis was in New Orleans. They're talking to their agent, Ben Simmons. Thank you, Ben Simmons. But let me get another caller on. What's going on?
What's going on, man?
Everything. Where you calling from?
We going from the West Coast over to the East Coast, baby.
Oh, who wants
over here in Pittsburgh
right now? It's pretty cold out there, right?
Yesterday we had -1, so right now at 29 degrees, it's basically summer.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so what you want to talk about?
I want to talk about Dwyane Wade's son, pulling up with this dress. Now, you had played that thing. I don't know if that was Killer Mike or whoever talking about why people are not, ready to go to war. But it just kind of reminds me of like the buck breaking that used to be done. The way that they would, break down the male image whether through a physical beatdown, whether through getting sodomized, all those different ways, all in an attempt to be able to keep the people weak, keep these families weak, and then at the end of the day, they would end up, taking that man away. In this situation, Dwyane Wade, who is a biological male, just like his son, he's there, he's present in his son's life, but the challenge is that he's allowing him to be, feminized. And I don't know if maybe Dwyane Wade is feeling remorse from the things that he may have done in the past, but overall, like, as you saw Dwyane Wade start coming with and before I say this, having colorful hair, it doesn't make you a female, but he didn't start doing that until a certain point in his marriage with Gabrielle. That's when the changes started. So it's just kind of crazy. And then in addition to that, right, a lot of people have been saying that, that's just his style and stuff like that. Most women, if they showed up to, no women will be wearing a dress.
Oh, yours breaking up. You said most what?
It would just work. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's better.
How do I sound now? Okay. Yeah, I was saying that even most women who went to that memorial, they would have just been wearing a regular, Kobe jersey. Maybe a female size one. None of them would have been wearing a dress. So it's not really about saying, well, this is my style. It's an attempt to be able to project an image based on their agenda. Because what I notice is that the the men that want to be women, they do it to the 10th degree. They talk with a little more of that little more of that neck going. They do it more than the women. They smack their lips more than the women. They got the makeup on more than the women. So at the end of the day, it's like, who are you trying to fool? You're overdoing it to be able to prove your point.
So what if because Dwyane Wade said he was always feminine, even when he's a baby. What if the kid just like, look, man, I want to be free, man, just let me be free? What do you say to that if he's on 12 or under? What do you think?
I would say the same thing is if my kid said, I want to be a dog, or if I have a black kid who says, I'm Japanese, at some point, you have to adjust your feelings with reality. So I understand maybe most kids, they don't just act that way. Usually they have seen something or they experienced something.
Yeah.
Maybe there's kids out there that do act that way. Usually it's something that has happened. Whether you had talked about the abuse that was going on. People that see their parents fighting and stuff like that, they take that different ways. Some people, they get real passive. Some people get real aggressive. Maybe this was this child's way of being able to cope with that drama. Maybe it's his way of saying that, like, hey, maybe I'll be that woman that's strong enough to where she's not going to get beat by my dad or beat by another man. Not saying that Dwyane Wade was beating on her, but some of these do, they want to be that person.
That's a fact, man. And like I said, when you're not with the biological parents, I don't care how well you are as a father or mother who's maybe single parent, they're going to want their mom no matter what, and they're probably both talking about each other, or and the kids listening to this growing up, it was just dysfunction. A lot of people say, well, at least he made it and make all this money. Well, we all know money is not everything. Money's a lot, money's like oxygen, but when you got enough oxygen, you ain't thinking about breathing, and it's real, because you got to think, for the last 20 years he had money, so that's not it. You know what I mean? But Dwyane Wade has not displayed a proper way to be a man. Like he cheated on his wives, each of them. He cheated on the first one. I'm gonna play a clip with his wife, his ex wife talking about it, and then he did that with Gabriel Union and Gabriel, and what they did is they have publicists, they have money, so they try to act like they were on a break to make Dwyane Wade look good. The same way they're doing with Ben Roethlisberger, because you have these big engines behind them. Like all that stuff when the alleged rape was going on with Ben Roethlisberger, they covered that up, and we just come to find out with Ben Roethlisberger that they was actually trying to trade him to San Francisco after that happened. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I saw something about it in the news today.
Yeah, so it's all going to come out, but like they have these engines behind them, man. You know, like dude was the face of Miami. You know what I mean? Like when you went to Miami, I remember I went to a Dwyane Wade game, Miami Heat game, and his face was so big, plastered on this thing right by the ocean. I'm like, this brother runs Miami. You know what I mean? They put so
Yeah.
much money to back, put a to build the machine. And NBA, man, they almost lost me because they got so woke. You know, and they in the WNBA they lost me because I used to actually watch them back in the when they first started in the '90s when they had Cynthia Cooper and all them other players. But then they now like they're so everybody in there is gay, and I don't have a problem with you being gay, but you gotta show it like your dominance. Like most people when they push this agenda, they're trying to replace you. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to replace men. Look at Cynthia. I mean, if you watch Candace Parker, I said this again. Like, watch her on that show with Dwyane Wade and how they treat Shaq. You know,
You know what? And
still there. Can't hear you if you
you know, same thing with Ben Roethlisberger. I guess that was the thing, you know, back then was that, you know, you're an athlete and you want to try to create this wholesome image. And it makes me think now, was it to try to distract from things that were going on in his personal life with his now ex-wife at the time?
ex-wife.
Well, no, I'm talking about the you know, the
Oh,
first one.
wait. Okay, I thought you said Ben. I was like, oh, that was a straight cover up then, because he married that girl right after the second alleged rape case.
Mm.
You know, so I thought you were talking about that. I was like, oh, dog, man. But I'm gonna try to play this video real quick. You got a little time to talk, or
I'm sorry.
Yeah, yep.
all right? Give me a second. But what you think about the I mean, since you're in Pittsburgh, you said, right? What's your greatest moment with Ben Roethlisberger? You have any moments? I guess not. Crickets.
Well, you know, just like the previous caller, one of the most competitive and when games is the Dallas Cowboys. That's my one. And at the time,
Hey, you're breaking up.
can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, I said at the time when Roethlisberger was on his run, I was kind of a hater.
Okay, continue.
Yeah. So I mean, you'd have to get a real Pittsburgh fan, you know, on here. I mean, my biggest recollections was him having the motorcycle accident, 2 Super Bowl rings, and 2 alleged rape cases. That was pretty much it.
So what's the energy with him retiring? Are they excited in Pittsburgh to see him go, or are they? What's the energy there?
It's mixed. Some people are, you know, on the, you know, thank you, move on. Some people people are saying, nah, 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 hey, goodbye. So it just depends on who it is, because over here in Pittsburgh, there's a division. There are some people who are blaming Pittsburgh's lack of success on the coach, on Mike Tomlin, and some people who are blaming it on Ben Roethlisberger. It's very rare that you have people that are saying that it's both of them.
Interesting. So, I mean, it sounds like you're not obviously a Steelers fan. Who do you like? Who's your
Team?
team?
America's team, of course. I'm an American. Dallas Cowboys, baby.
Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to delete. Oh, no wonder you talking like this. So what you think about Dax folding, man?
Listen, sometimes there comes an era, time in life where you gotta make a decision. He made a really stupid decision. Almost looked like a rookie mistake, but he's not a rookie. That I was very disappointed in that, and especially for on the next day for the other quarterback in the AFC to show you how it's done, Patrick Mahomes. It was very disappointing.
Man, sound like you watch football. What you think about Brady and well, Brady didn't fold in that game. He was playing bad. Well, no, he the team was playing bad most of the game, and they came back. But the guy from Green Bay, Rodgers, he folded. To me, it seems like there's the game is different now. These players are older, and do you see these young quarterbacks coming up? The guy from Cincinnati, the guy from like the East, the AFC in general with the quarterbacks, they're just balling right now, man. What do you think about all that?
Man, this next slate of quarterbacks, they are looking nice. I mean, you have you mentioned what's his name? Joe Burrows, is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You got him, but Josh Allen, he nice.
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, he's nice. I mean, just 2 years ago, all we were really looking at, out of that batch was Lamar Jackson and maybe Patrick Mahomes. But now, like you're just seeing these other guys. The one from Buffalo, he was on the come up, but I didn't know he had the clutch like that. He did everything needed to do to be able to win that game. He was putting the balls where they need to be. Both teams were, that was a low scoring game in the beginning of the game.
Right.
And both teams, it just seemed like that fourth quarter, they just turned it on the all Madden. And and unfortunately he got into a gunfight with the one that's going to be the next Brady. So and that guy, he won the gunfight.
Do you think they should change the rules for overtime?
I think so. I know there are people that say that you got 60 minutes to win the game, but I don't think the game should be determined by a coin flip. I think that somewhere along the line, both teams should have the ability to touch the ball. Now, the problem is that you don't want to have in the professional league. You don't want to have it like college. I don't know if they still do it, where they, they just keep doing overtime, and people just getting hurt, more and more, and so on. So I understand that aspect, but they got to find a way to. I mean, I guess if it came down to it, then yeah, maybe they would have to do that. Touchdown. You have to contest it with the touchdown, and then after that, whoever they should have it exactly the same as now, except if someone scores that first touchdown, it has to be contested. If they score a field goal, The other, team, it has to be done twice basically if they do a field goal.
Mm, mm. Okay. And who do you have getting to the Super Bowl? We have what Kansas City, Cincinnati, and 49ers in LA. Rams. Who you think is going to win?
I'm going to go with Kansas City versus LA with man. I hate to say, it sounds so cliche, but Kansas City for the win. Like that dude is so good that saying that expecting him to win is like cliche.
Mm-hmm,
you know,
mm-hmm. Right.
he the future. I mean that day when I think it was last year or the year before one of them, I think it was in the Super Bowl
Mm-hmm,
when he was falling down and he launched that pass.
mm-hmm.
I'm like, man, this dude's he built differently, So hats off to Patrick Mahomes. He's the future of the league. Hope that he's not on the mat and cover too many times in the future. I know he was once. We don't need the curse going on.
Mm. So, who's going to replace Ben Roethlisberger? What do you think? You think they're going to get somebody in free agency, or do you think they're going to go with what's the backup there? Rudolph or what's his name? Rudolph, Mason Rudolph. You think they're going to go with him, or
If I was a heavy Steelers fan, I'd be pissed. If I was a season ticket holder, I'd be asking for a free season because what they're doing, it's not as criminal, but it's almost as criminal as the Pirates. They knew for about 5 years that they should have been starting the process of getting a quarterback to come up. So now what you're going to do,
it's a whole fact?
yeah. So now what you're going to do is you're going to play this game of going with the backups who barely had any time to develop. You're going to throw them in, and these guys weren't like the top of the draft pick guys. These weren't the top 10 of the first round guys. Those are the guys that you could usually just plug in and play, and they'll just develop on their own. But you're going to go with these guys who they're probably backups. If they signed Dwayne Haskins, right?
Mm-hmm.
They should have been putting him in. Now I think it's too late. And the Steelers, I can guarantee they're not going to draft a top 10 draft pick quarterback. They're going to try to get Falco off the replacements or something like that.
Mm.
And go that way. But I don't know who it's going to be, but I don't think I don't think they're going to end up going with those two. They might try to get worn out Aaron Rodgers, or they might try to do something like that, which I don't think it's going to work, even if they did get him. And Aaron Rodgers ain't the scramble guy all like that anymore. So if they don't replace that, they got to get that line together first. So what the Steelers may as well do, they may as well they can throw either one of those quarterbacks in.
Mm-hmm.
Start building the line the first year. The next year, they need to start, getting some more offensive players because some of those wide receivers who are dropping the ball, they started picking it up a little bit, but they're going to want out of here. And then the only one that's going to really be here by the third year is probably going to be the running back. That's why if you get that line, he'll be happy because he's going to eat, and it won't really matter as much who the quarterback is. I know the game has changed, but they need to start there, and then 3 years from now, they need to get like a top draft pick quarterback.
Oh man, I'm digging this conversation, man. So, what do you think Ben Roethlisberger's legacy is going to be? Now, real quick before you answer that, I didn't like the fact that Ben Roethlisberger is retiring this year. I think he should have waited. Like he didn't have to play, but I think he should have waited for his announcement until Brady said something. because if Brady, if he quits and he says I'm done, his wife, basically said you can't play anymore. Ben Roethlisberger is going to have a hard time getting into that Hall of Fame because 5 years from now, Brady's going in straight up first ballot. If Brady doesn't, he may have a chance, but right now they're looking at your character now. Like ever since T.O., which T.O. is one of my favorite football players ever, but they looked at his character off the field and how he treated the team. Ben Roethlisberger hasn't been that great a person off the field as we know. He had the alleged rape case that happened 2 times. He had problems with teammates. He was going on Pittsburgh news or Pittsburgh radio, airing out what was going on in the locker room. The time when he was riding a motorcycle when he was like 06, and he pretty much almost died in Pittsburgh, downtown Pittsburgh. He got into that accident when the team told him not to. So I just think, what do you think his legacy will be?
Honestly, so I think his legacy is going to be that Ben Roethlisberger was one of the top 5 quarterbacks of his generation.
Mm-hmm.
And and the reason I say that because you have Brady in there, and you have Peyton in there, so Ben his legacy is going to be very similar to like John Elway, which ironically they're both number 7 because Ben was a big John Elway fan. But John Elway, as great as he was, like he was never thought of on the same level as Dan Marino or
Joe Montana.
Joe Montana. Those were the guys of his generation. So I say like 5th maybe because a lot of people would consider Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers is better than Ben Roethlisberger. So when it comes to the Hall of Fame, he's also going to have to deal with those guys also.
Mm.
Being in front of the line, to him. Eli, I don't really know so much. Even though he got the 2 Super Bowls, he's kind of looked at as like the big game guy. And even though that's really definitely important, I don't think a lot of people are going to rate Eli Manning as a top 5 quarterback. But I think that's where Ben is going to be pretty much looked at. He's had great achievements. The end of his years more so pad and stats as far as the end of his career.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, he's been in a Super Bowl 3 times, won twice, and done a lot of dumb stuff in between.
They think Denver going to pick up Rodgers this off season. Man, my guy though, Josh Allen, man. After I saw what he did, oh man, that was such a good game against against Kansas City. Man, that was such a good game. I was like, wow, that had to be one of the best games that most people watched, including myself. Like they were just like ice cold in the end, and man, them throws that he was making like on 4, it was like I think one of them was like 4th and 13. He threw it across the middle. Man, big up to those players, man. Straight up, man. Like, I'm back with football. Because when they start doing that woke stuff, I kind of stopped watching it. But these players are very, very, very talented, man.
Josh Allen, he is basically who he's Matt Stafford basically. Except they put him in place, they put a little something around him. Matt Stafford, which he's not the old guard, he's not Ben, and he's like in between. He's the the Andrew Luck crew and all of that. The guys that were supposed to be the next generation that was supposed to, those guys were supposed to take the reins. But other than Megatron, he never really had anything, and that area, that team just sucked.
Man, I'm convinced that most teams don't care about winning. They don't. They just because you typically have a diehard fans and you have season ticket holders, so they're getting their money no matter if they win or lose, and that's a shame. I mean, look at the Pirates. They end up getting in the mix of them losing since '93. They got a stadium, a new stadium, and they still don't care about them winning.
And I remember, one of my first jobs, I did like a door-to-door sales job,
Mhm.
and we were selling these pirate tickets. It was the best deal ever. It was like $40, and you get like all these tickets. Man, I couldn't give them to anyone. Like they were kicking me out. Get off my porch!
Man,
I'm coming over here with them tickets. Get out of here! I was so embarrassed. I quit that job one day too. I was like, I can't do this. This is stressful. That's how bad the Pirates had been to the city, and for them to have the nerve after having a couple years of lightning in the bottle and not to capitalize and to build into a great franchise and let them go back into that depression, that is criminal.
yeah, but fans don't hold them accountable for that. And that's the problem.
I
What you
don't. I
what you on a heart monitor or something, man?
no, just over here depositing cash like in the olden days.
Oh man, you
I'm
can't
not,
say that on here. IRS is counting figures, man.
oh man, they looking to stick people up the legal way.
Hey, I'm gonna play real quick. I'm gonna play this clip where it's an audio, but Ricky Smiley talking about dude wearing the dress. All right, hold on.
Child unconditionally, and I don't know.
What don't you know? Okay.
No, it's good.
You love your child unconditionally.
You know what's saying?
Yeah.
Everybody's scared.
It's just
scared
a
to
difficult.
get their opinion because it's Dave. Okay, I'm done. Never
cut. Yep, you
Never
too.
mind.
Yep. So just let it go. But anyway,
My
congratulations.
thing here's about the son. Now they got the baby up here. They take a family picture. The baby up here, 12 years old with
The acrylic nails.
The acrylic nails and a halter top shirt on. Now, be what you want to be. But the question is, if that boy was a real little girl, is it appropriate? Because my 12-year-old daughter wouldn't have on no halter top and no acrylic nails. My 12-year-old girl, right? Because they got plenty of time for that. They got the rest of their life to do that. Now, why you got to march that out in front of everybody, and that's still a child? This is me. Now, you can get mad at me, and the LGBT community can attack me or whatever and say whatever they want to say, but I'm just talking about just as a parent, you got to use a certain amount of discretion, and it almost feels like exploitation to a child's sexuality. Now, be what you want to be, and people who gonna be who they want to be, and sometimes this stuff is genetic, sometimes it's low testosterone. That was explained to me by a doctor. The reason why some people are the way they are. However, we're not telling you you can't be who you are. Then you could be that in private. But if my son was gay, and I raised a child that was a lesbian that's now living her life as the opposite sex now, or whatever. But while you're a child, remain in a child's place, be who you are. And then when you get old enough, you get to be whoever you want to be. The problem is we have to set boundaries, cannot allow children to do what they want to do. And if your 3-year-old or 4-year-old baby, they love candy, but you wouldn't give them candy for breakfast, right? Mm-hmm. You give them what they're supposed to have for breakfast. But if it was up to them, they would eat Skittles and candy for breakfast every morning and for lunch and for dinner. As a parent, you have to make a decision that this is not good for you right here. And when you get old enough to buy your own candy and pay your own rent, you can eat it. And I still love you and support you. So where do we draw the line?
Wow.
I think.
Yeah, you there?
Yeah. Hey, Ricky, you said that was Ricky Smiley?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was making some good points, and that kind of goes into what I was saying earlier about with the dress, right? I
Mm-hmm.
was saying even if a young girl was going to that game, I mean, to that memorial for Kobe,
Mm-hmm.
she wouldn't be trying to do the extra. She would just be wearing a regular Kobe Bryant jersey. I bet Vanessa Bryant wouldn't even be wearing a Kobe Bryant jersey dress or whatever. Other thing has to do with like he said, the exploitation. When these kids are young, a lot of kids they like I want to be a horse, mommy. you know, kids they want to watch TV all night. Kids want to do all sorts of things. But it's up to the parents to be able to guide them to do what they're supposed to do, and then when they get old enough, if they decide that they want to change this or that, because at the end of the day, if some of those things, that if you change them, like if you start injecting certain types of hormones and things like that, start cutting off certain body parts, some of that can be reversed, some of it cannot. Some of it you may try to reverse, like the chemical aspect, but it's going to cost you. It might end up leaving like a chemical imbalance that you have to deal with for the rest of your life. So parents need to be careful and discern and keep the kids' best interests in mind, and the parents need to be parents and stop trying to be their friends.
Mm. This is what Kwame Brown said about it. Hold on, but that's a good take on it. Hold on.
As a man anymore, and that's just
There you go.
Dwyane Wade and what he's allowing to happen in his household. And I don't like to speak about a man's child, so I'm going to speak about the man. And as a man, I don't think Dwyane Wade levels up as a man anymore. And that's just my opinion, brother Dwyane Wade. I don't think you level up as a man. You are letting your woman control your house. You played this thing called basketball. This is a game. Kobe Bryant's children are not honoring him by wearing a dress. Kobe Bryant's wife is not honoring him by wearing a dress. I don't think nobody else is honoring Kobe Bryant by wearing a dress. Kobe Bryant was a masculine man who, when out my shoulder, Kobe Bryant said, I don't give a damn, shoot it with your left hand, wheel it in. This man's mindset was golden. This man's mindset was, I can do anything. And guess where he came from, brother Dwayne? Out of high school. Kobe Bryant, there's not a one thing, rest in peace to Kobe Bryant and his daughter. But I understand the mindset that he probably was giving his children. Do you know how great his oldest daughter mentality probably was, having a daddy like Kobe Bryant? That the time that you want to give up, the time that you shoulder, the time that is this, he gonna come to you and say, hey, that the other shoulder work. That old school ancestor didn't give up on shit. And some people got rubbed the wrong way by that. Hell, even me at times. But how do you now honor a man with so much masculinity, so much since a teenager, that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me? Because that's some of the personal conversations that me and
Man, he's hitting it. Oh man, we need more people to talk about it. You know, we need more men out here. And like I said, if that's a choice that people want to make, don't promote it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's all about like exploitation, like you said, like Ricky Smiley said, and it's just a shame, man. And they're just neutering all the guys out here. But
Yeah.
we're not going to go for that, man. You know, a lot of people can't speak like a Steve Harvey or because they let corporate America run their lives. You know what I mean? That's why I
Yeah.
respect Dave Chappelle, man.
Yeah. And Dave, like he said, man, he's the guy riding on the $50 million bus. He the guy that jumped off. So I don't need that bus.
Mm-hmm. And Rick's doing it twice, man. I mean, shout out to Netflix for backing them, man. It's
Hmm.
something about the subscription companies, man. I really appreciate like Netflix, Spotify with Joe Rogan. They're backing him. I mean, it could be money. It could be they're generating too much money. I don't know if they really care about the cause or whatnot, but I think some companies are too big to fail.
Well, I think it's definitely the money, but you got to think about where is the money coming from. So we'll use the Joe Rogan Spotify situation. You have Neil Young who says, it's either me or Joey. And there's like, all right, well, we're sorry you feel that way, Neil. We wish you the best and everything like that.
Get your
But
catalog out of here.
yeah, so Neil Young, who is getting I think 6 million streams, per month, compared to Joe Rogan, who's getting 100. Now, what that tells me is that they're looking at the numbers, but there are more of us than there are of them. It's just that they are louder most of the time. So you have these people like Joe Rogan, Dave Chappelle, they don't even really represent what the side politically that is really fighting the most, against these things. They don't represent that. These are just people that have common sense, that understand that like you shouldn't be able to shut up our free speech. And in addition, they're saying like these things aren't the norm. So shout out to them. And I hope that more people wake up and understand there are more people who think like you, and you're probably quiet about it, than the people who are loud.
Good stuff, man. So we're about to wrap up. What anything you want to leave the audience with?
Well, I thank you for letting me on. I just wanted to say, Josie Sports Nation, definitely, one of the best sports channels, out here. So, if you're listening and you're new, definitely hit the subscribe button, share it with your friends, because this is definitely dope sports radio.
Oh man, the check will be in the mail, man. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me on.
All right. Oh, that was dope, man. But yeah, man, I appreciate all the cash apps today. Yeah. Yeah. I might come on later on when the Lakers play. The Lakers play Charlotte today. But keep on keeping and have a good Sunday, man. I mean, I said Sunday. Have a good Friday, man. And I might go live today, but I'm probably gonna definitely go on Sunday. During football. So, but all right, I appreciate y'all. Have a good day.